Okay, again we are here, and amazing, I know. The thing is, let's continue working a little bit on our character. Let's fix here and there, where let's inflate a little bit this on the, not inflate actually, let's try to inflate it though. With the inflate brush, no, this inflate brush is not working as planned. So I'll go to sculpt with Control Tab down and continue working on this kind of sleeve. This is kind of a sleeve. And yeah, again, it started to show, but it finished. Okay, sleeve. I can even increase this sleeve to be not so tight, like this. It could work, why not? But the hand itself is pretty rough. So I will subdivide it one more time and smooth it and try to not have this kind of a super pronounced knuckles, because it's a cartoon character. Those kind of things I tend to do. I mean, a little bit more anatomical, but for this character it's absolutely not good to have this. So we have to be very careful with that. Let's try to inflate these inner parts here, but it's not inflating them. I don't know what's happening here with this inflate tool. Radius, strength, direction, inflate, deflate, okay, normal radius, hardness, auto smooth, advanced topology, front faces. Let's try to, yes. So the front faces was enabled and it was making everything bad. So this front faces here in the tool menu, so you want to press N, or if you go to this wrench and this screwdriver, here on the advanced tab, you will have this front faces only. That we have used, but now it's kind of working against us. So we have against us. So we have to disable it for the inflate to work fine. So yeah, we learned something new, that the front face is kind of making the inflate brush look bad. And also those advanced and such features strangely are working for all brushes. So if you turn them on one brush, then obviously they're working for another brushes too, which sometimes is a good thing, sometimes is not a very good thing. So it depends on the case, but I kinda am not, I have no problem with this. There are people that say, why did you go to Blender now? Why did you kind of left ZBrush? Why don't you want to make more courses about ZBrush? I don't think there's a point. I think I made enough courses for ZBrush already, and for me it's even more interesting to work in Blender, since this basically is a free software, and for free software it has amazing functions. Even for a paid software it's very nice, and for free software it's just out of this world, you know, it's just amazing. So let's go to the cup itself and smash it a little bit here. Can we? Oh, we don't have enough geometry. Let's press Tab, Control R, and Control R, and then with the scroll, let's make few loops just to have them, because if we don't have them, we'll be sorry. Then we go back to sculpt mode, and then we can kind of push this area a little bit. So it seems that the cup is soft, and with Alt Q I will select the hand, he's pushing it towards his body, and he's kind of smashing it a little bit. But I think this will look nice if we do this. Yeah, like this, smashing. Hulk smash and something like this, yeah. Yeah, it looks kind of nice. But it's not very close to his chest. So, let's go to object mode, Control Tab down, Control Tab left. And then with our, oh, it's here. Okay, let's move it closer to his chest. Okay. And I know, yeah, those are the things that differentiate a good sculpt and good overall character from a middle size or bad one, because everything is kind of thought of. You think of this, say, okay, I have to do this and this and this, and you just do it, you know. So yeah, and I'm thinking of some things and I'm just doing them. Of course, you may or may not do it. It depends on you, but I suggest you do it because it's kind of nicer to have those kind of things. Okay, this is interesting how it happens. Now it looks a little bit strangely smashed. And then the hand we have to kind of, with the big move brush, from a lot of distance, just to pull it closer. And this, I think, is good. From the bottom, how it looks is good. You have to rotate constantly to see from each angle how it looks. And now we have to go to the sweater and move it back a little bit. But I think it's better. And this area here in the front, we should increase the size like this and fix, because here it looks awful. Let's try to fix it by sculpting, just moving this a little bit so it's not that much inside. Flatten this area with our scrape brush. I think it was scrape, yeah, scrape peaks. A great brush, by the way, one of my favorites. As you can know, I use only 6 or 7 brushes, so one of my favorites is one of those few brushes that I use. So draw sharp, grab brush, my favorite brush, and inflate and scrape brush. And sometimes clay tubes, but it's sometimes, not all the time I use it. Let's try this, by the way, just to do a certain thing, but since this is a sweater, it's kind of a thick, so we will not have very sharp folds, hopefully. Yeah, with the draw brush I can use a little fold in here. Yes, and then I will inflate it to see what happens. And then I will smooth it with the shift. Of course, shift is always a good option for you to smooth. Then here we can do as the concept like this and one like this. And then with 6, which is our inflate brush, since we put it on 6. Other than that, I mean, the inflate brush I think was I by default, which also is a good, but yeah, it's your choice. I mean, I do it on 6, so if you want, you can place it on 6, the key. If you don't want it on 6, of course you can place it whatever. It's your choice. Blender is highly customizable. I didn't customize it that much, although I can, and it will be a little bit more comfortable for me, but it doesn't matter that much for me. Since I'm a teacher, I have to think about the people I teach, and many people don't like highly customizations in the beginning. And since this is a beginner tutorial, we customized just few things, as you can see, with just 1 or 2 shortcuts. Have I shown you how to do Q? Yes, wireframe. I've shown you. Q is the quick select, and in almost everything, for example, you go to this direction here, press a right mouse button on the direction, and you can, no, you cannot do it here, but you cannot do it here on the brush setting. It's interesting, why can't you do it? But for example, if you wanna on this floor, you can add it to quick favorites, and when you add it, you will have to, you can disable and enable floor from Q button, which is quick favorite. And this you can do in most, obviously not everything, but in most settings here in Blender. You can have them in Q. Of course, if I were you, I would have very few things in Q, in the quick selection, because if there are a lot, then it's a little bit senseless. So they have to be few, but very well kind of thought. Some things that we use a lot. For example, you can go sculpt mode. Let's try that. No, we cannot do it. But it should be interesting. to have the Q and then change the sculpt mode and the other modes from there. Let's see here. No, we cannot. But it could be nice if we can. But we can't. We can't. I'm working on the hand now again, since we have to. And yeah, it still doesn't look good. I mean, it's amazing how this couldn't make itself look better. The thumb doesn't look like a thumb, and few other things that I don't completely appreciate. I don't know. Sometimes if I don't like something, I've spent a decent amount of time fixing it, since I cannot afford to have, you know, these things. Although in my latest video that I did on my YouTube channel, I did this cartoon girl I told you, and I forgot the eyebrows. I forgot to make the eyebrows, and it looks a little bit, you know, on first glance you will not notice probably, but then you will see, something is wrong with her. She doesn't have eyebrows. Okay. The guy forgot the eyebrows. He's just not good enough, I guess. Yeah, because for 30 minutes, sculpting, texturing, materials, lighting, and render is a little bit difficult to achieve. So that's why, probably. Okay. I guess it looks kinda decent. Although this thumb should go a little bit more up and like this. It's fine. I mean, those squarish fingers are kind of cartoony, yes, but they are not fitting with our feet, for example, which doesn't have any squares. Also, the head doesn't have any squares, so the fingers shouldn't be that squarish. So I will smooth them. It will be easier just to smooth them a lot. And now I think they're better. Yeah, they're better. Okay. Okay, we kind of fixed it now. This looks kind of fine. Here I don't completely agree with this. And maybe we can put another fold down here. Just a big one. And then inflate. So the folds are not that sharp. Since this is, when you have a fabric which is kind of thick, you don't have you cannot have thin folds and sharp folds in the thick fabric. You have thicker folds, of course, like, yeah, it's kind of normal. And yeah, this is fine. Now let's put our shadow catcher, because I don't have patience to see the shadows. Let's Shift A, mesh plane, just a simple plane. Then press Tab to go to edit mode, and let's take this, the pivot or the gizmo, and move it down, and then scale it by pressing S. Like this. I think this is good enough. And we have this plane. So let's go to our cycles render. Okay. Let's go to assign a new material to this one. This material 05. And then let's go to cycles settings, which are on this window here, the render settings. And if you hover the window, you will see this kind of a thing, render properties. And then we go to no render properties. So in here, we will have this plane. Yes, in the render properties in film, if you check the transparent, then your background will be transparent when you render. Yes, yes. But everything is transparent now here in cycles. Even this, I don't know what's happening here. If we disable transparent, it's not from this. It's the noise or something. Yeah, I should probably restart. So now let's not talk about the cycles. Obviously, something is completely wrong here. Let's talk about Eevee. And in this material, we have to fix this material. So how to do this? Let's go. First, we go to shading. we select this, make sure that this is selected here. We're on object mode and we are in shading. In shading, the difference is we are in object mode again, but the difference is we have this, which are some of the, you see, I have Diablo 2, StarCraft 2, yeah, those are my games, and 3D Max, but whatever, don't worry about those folders. We have this in the bottom here, which is good. What is this? I'm not sure. This is shader editor. So this shader editor, we can of course go to layout here. Just put it here. No. Can I do it from the bottom, by the way? Let's try. Okay, I can. So from the bottom. Oh, this. Okay. Here I can go shader editor and just do this. And I will have whatever, the same thing. I will have the same thing. But it's more easy to go to shading here. So in the layout, I will just try to... Okay, not good. Okay. And... Okay, now go to shading. And we have this... what are those? Nodes. We have these nodes. And we have to add few nodes. So we have to add diffuse BDSF. BSDF, diffuse BSDF, shader to RGB, and color ramp. And I don't remember them. I just see them in this other window. So you see diffuse BSDF, shader to RGB, and color ramp. This is my test file. So let's go. Shift A, search for diffuse BSDF. We add it, put it here. Then we need shader to RGB. So click search, shader to RGB. We put it here. Shift A, click. So Shift A, click will definitely, most likely will go to search. And then you can search for color ramp. Okay, this is the first one. I just click it and I put it here. Now we have to connect BDSF to shader here, color to factorial here, and color to alpha in here. That's for now. Next thing we have to do is to kind of play with this, but a little bit I will show you. So let's go to see the render view. Now nothing is visible. We go to material in here, go down, and here in blend mode opaque, you go to alpha blend. Okay, alpha blend. And here we go to probably black, because this will be the color of our mask, black. And here we'll go to black also. And then here, ooh, what's happening? I went black in here. What is this? Let's place 1 in here. I don't know why, but I just... Okay, RGB, linear, okay, factor. Okay, this should be like this, and here we should have, let's select this one and make it white. Okay, so one of those sliders should be white, so if you click on it, it should be white. The other one should be black. Okay, and then we have to kind of make them go closer to each other, something like this. But there is wrong thinking here. I'm not sure. So let's go here. And is this sun? Yeah, it's sun. So let's go to point. Wow. Amazing. And let's go to 500. Okay, that's better. And this will be our rim light, of course. 500. I think it's good. And let's disable shadows. Shadows are disabled, which is fine. And okay, for this one, yeah, because this is working with our shadows and with our, you know, see, whatever is in shadow will be black. And since we don't have a light in these areas here, it kind of will be black. Let's try to do something. So let's go to this light and make it a sunlight. Yeah, I know it's a little bit, you know, confusing, but let's go to like 12. For sunlight, 12 is pretty good. And we will have shadow now. You see, we have something like shadow. Let's press F12 to render it. Yeah, we have shadow, but it's awful. And also our overall picture is pretty awful. So let's go again to like 5 or even 2. Now it's a little bit better. Now it's better. But also the angle should be a little bit bigger, so the shadow is more diffuse. It's not that sharp. So let's try that. Yeah, and here the shadow in the beginning is kind of a colorish, which comes from our environment probably. And I don't completely approve it, but the overall look in the eyes of our character is fine. And also it's not bad. I mean, let's try 4. A little bit lighter. Let's render it with F12. F12 is render, as you know, or not. Who knows? Okay, now I'm not completely happy with this. You see, it doesn't have shadows here. The hand is not throwing shadows on the cup, which is strange, and we don't like that. But yeah. And by the way, make sure you have transparency turned on here in the film. Transparent. If you don't, it will be like this. Do you know why I want this? Because I want to put a custom background. My custom background I want to put after I render this. So I will render it with transparency, for example, and then I put my custom background. This is my goal. Now I will go to this material and see if we can't make it a little bit less specular. No. Drier, no. This doesn't look fine. By the way, for this sweater, I would put, if we had a good fur for cycles, for Eevee render, I would put a little bit of fur in there, but we don't have, so yeah. So shadows are okay. Ambient occlusion we can put a little bit. Bloom we can put. And depth of field we don't need. Subsurface scattering, skin sprays, reflections. Trace precision, maybe a little bit better precision. Who knows? Volumetric performance. High quality normals, we don't need that. This is just settings here. Viewport settings, a little bit increase them. Because we have a nice processor. And it can... And the video card is also decent, so we can use it. We can select the plane. We can go to film and transparent here in the render properties. And yeah, if you want your background to be transparent, film transparent. If you want to have a shadow catcher, just to have shadow on the floor, which I recommend highly, because without a shadow catcher it will be difficult. Pretty difficult. So let's try to decrease this a little bit, so get them closer together maybe. Yeah, but we lost the shadow now. Yeah, it's kinda hard. Although, this is looking decent. And if we decrease the specular and increase the roughness of this, now we have a very decent shadow, as you can see. The specular was the problem, by the way, of this blue thing. So we have a very decent shadow, which is great, which is fine. But I still not approve the overall look of our character. I don't know, because I'm just maybe perfectionist these days, I'm not sure. Yeah, we have to see this and that, but overall it looks kind of decent. We have to see how to make a turntable and how to make our render look better. For now it's kind of fine. I would like this to be a little bit, so I will decrease the hard surface and increase this redness here, and I think it will be better, because this is a cartoon character and the render should be a little bit more cartoony, probably. That's why I want it to be more red, maybe a little bit darker red, or like reddish red, like this. Even like probably, yes. Yeah. I dig that. I kind of like it to be more brighter red like it is now. And for this, material, I would like to decrease the subsurface, because there is a little need of subsurface, not too much, because too much will be not good. So for the ears, a little bit more subsurface, but not too much. For the head, let's see, we have the hair and the other material, which has some subsurface, which is great. But here we don't have any ambient occlusion, which I don't like. I like here between the cup and the hand to have some ambient occlusion, which we completely don't have. Even in the render, I think, yeah, we don't have it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, we don't have a material on the cup. Let's see what kind of material we'll put on the cup. It doesn't make any progress. I mean, it's, yeah. Subdivisions I will increase on the render and otherwise also, because the cup was a little bit lower. Now it's kind of fine. The shadows are fine, although it's, you see, it's kind of close, but the shadows are very strange, by the way. Something is pretty wrong here, maybe because of this light, since it's sun, and I made the shadow like this. Maybe this thing here is the issue. No, it's not. Probably it's just the sun. Let's see with a point light or area light with like 500. Huh, we still have this. Yeah, probably I should accept the solidify, apply it, and the subdivision apply it, and still we have this kind of a thinking here. Yeah, if we go to our cycles render, it will disappear. Yeah, I know. So yeah, I have to restart this file and see what's happening with the cycles render maybe. And the shadow is a problematic. You know, the sunlight is that's why we put the sunlight in, because it's kind of lighting absolutely everything, and the point light is lighting just an area around it, and then it kind of goes dim after that. But the sunlight is everything in certain direction is lit up. So I guess the sunlight with see, this is the bloom, by the way. The sunlight with 5 will kind of do, and here the angle will be a little bit like 14 maybe. It should work. If we disable the shadow, it will not have shadows, which sometimes would be great, sometimes not so much. But I will kind of see what is happening, and in the next video we will kind of adjust, maybe learn how to make a overall turntable and how to render, and we will be kind of ready with our character. And yeah, with a great regret we have to finish this course, but there will be more courses of Blender, intermediate, for much more complicated characters. They will be longer, of course, but they will be pretty interesting. So stay tuned for that, of course. I have to spend some months to make them, so we'll see. Okay, bye for now, see you.